Now, before we look at the bottom side of the hoof, it would be nice to know a way to pick up the hoof that is both safe and comfortable for you and the horse. So first, you'd like to try to get the horse standing as balanced as possible on his 4 feet. So try not to have the horse standing so a foot is sticking out in front or behind or well underneath the horse. This position isn't such a good idea, nor the 3-legged one, though it's quite natural for a horse to rest a hind foot like this. The horse needs to be standing solidly on all 4 feet. Before you pick up a foot, it's good to show your horse your intent by running your hand along the shoulder and down the leg. A well-trained horse will lift its foot when asked. In case the horse is not used to having his foot picked up, here are a few of the common practices used to get the horse's attention. Applying pressure to the chestnut and or directly under the back of the fetlock joint. Once you've picked up the foot, it's important to immediately cradle your hand under the hoof wall so the horse feels the foot is nice and secure. Sometimes you can brace the foot between your hand and your knee so that it feels nice and stable to the horse and it's not waving around.
Picking up the hind, you would run your hand down and let the horse always know that you're there. And wait till they release. Good girl. Picking up the hind foot. And when you're trimming and or cleaning, you want to make sure you keep the hips somewhat level, as opposed to taking them out to the side and see how those hips kind of tilt and twist and she gets uncomfortable, and that's when they start pulling away from you.
With the hind foot, if the horse doesn't pick it up readily, put your hand in the groove on the hock and the other hand on the front of the pastern, and you can apply pressure under the fetlock as well.
The whole foot with a hand.
Yeah, reach around there.
Yep, right on.
Really?
So that's a good stance because you've got your feet off to the side. That's great. So if you went or fell down or whatever, your feet are out of the way.
Very important to watch where your feet are placed and don't put them anywhere near where the hoof might slam down again until you've got the foot supported in your hand, and then you can reposition your feet. And here's an example of an experienced horse person and a well-trained horse. Now that we have the hoof picked up and comfortable, let's have a look at how we clean it out. Obviously, there are a large variety of hoof picks out there. You want to pick one that doesn't have a flat square end. Ideally, it should be a rounded, more of a pointed end, and have a nice stiff brush, either heavy plastic bristles or a metal brush is excellent.
So how do you like your hoof pick? Can I see the end of it?
I like it. The bristles are nice and stiff. This is strong. It doesn't bend.
And then we're going to try this one.
We'll try
too.
this one out.
It has a little bit more of a pick
Point
on
to
the end,
it.
and a little stronger for getting into the
Yeah,
crevices
it
and
is a
in
little stronger.
and around the white line and stuff.
Can you get these with a brush on the back?
They have a brush. And then
Nice.
just turn it over.
Oh, look at that. Nice.
There's so many picks on the market,
Yeah, there's a ton.
you know, but you got to find something that's fairly strong that can scrape out this stuff, and see how it kind of gets a little white looking. And when you do your hoof pick trim, you need a strong hoof pick to get in there and really get everything super clean. And then handle her brush. Yeah.
There we go.
And then that, nothing's like a steel brush that gets in there
Yes.
and cleans. And then make sure you go across the bulbs as well at the back of the foot. Yeah. Excellent. A little bit of spray. Good
Girl.
When using the hoof pick, don't just draw the hoof pick forward along the side of the frog, away from the heel, because that way it's going to be very difficult to clean out all the material that catches right into the back corner of the frog on either side. So draw the hoof pick back, use as much pressure as you find the horse is comfortable with. You should not be able to hurt the horse's foot with a hoof pick unless the hoof is diseased. A lot of dirt can get trapped deep into the grooves, and so it's really important to be very thorough when you're cleaning there and give it a nice solid scraping until you see a clean line at the bottom of those grooves. And the same goes for the back by the either side of the frog. Make sure there's no mud or dirt staying in there or in the area around the wall. Any dips or grooves need to be well scraped out, as well as in the center of the frog, where a lot of dirt can collect if there's a deep groove there. In the winter, it's not too complicated. A nice healthy foot will pop out most of its snow that might be caught in the foot, but always check for manure that might have gotten stomped into the dents on the other side of the frog or back in the center of the frog. Sometimes the horse is in a pretty sticky environment, a little harder to clean out. If you see any flaps of shedding frog, just remove those. You can just pull them right off. Anything that's ready to go on its own might as well be removed before it starts catching and trapping dirt and encouraging the growth of thrush. Not all feet look the same. Not all feet are as healthy. So be nice about cleaning. Be as firm as you can, but not so firm the horse starts to flinch and pull away from you. Let the horse tell you what it needs. But without good firm pressure, it's often hard to get in and remove all the dirt that's in those different grooves and dents. So you can see extra dirt here. It took a second try to get at it. Another big healthy foot. So there are some dips around the wall that need to be kept nice and clean and scraped out. This looks like a nice clean foot, but on second inspection, it needed a more detailed cleaning, more pressure on the hoof pick around the toe. A lot of rocks and gravel here that I discovered when I checked it. Also, it smelled quite a bit. So I kept going until a lot of white, chalky, thrushy material was removed and the actual site of the white line was exposed. Another nice, big, healthy, but overgrown foot. Good to get all the dirt out of the nooks and crannies. And you can see if you're removing any rocks or chalky material, it's all good to go. Anything that's loose. A wire brush would really be useful on this foot after cleaning with a hoof pick.
So hard to clean that foot out. Hard to tell what is foot, keep going, and what is poop. This is not conducive to healthy feet.
also really, really sticky. Would you agree?
Yeah, I just assumed that it was just the stuff in the corral. That was what it was, and dry and...
Whatever you can get off with that hoof pick is fair game. And exposes clean sole under. The hind ones came out easier, but we've been in here and they've been drying out. I whipped with the tail.
Whoa.
You'll see the front of that bar where it wants to peel off too. There it is. The hoof pick trim.
All trimmed up, but I just haven't done it this year. And yeah. I've done his brother now. Oh, well, that's all right. Then he should be okay.
Fun. It's nice bar trim right there. Yeah. That one's resistant. The phone switches too fast. Do you like? I think I'm videoing now. Look at all the rocks and checking for separation. See a rock there. That was a big one. Yes. Lefty hole.